Good, family. What's good? Hope everyone's good in the building. Thought I'd try something new today. So, yeah, man. It's a segment that I had on my Instagram, Red Pill Trill, by the way. And I used to put them on Jedi Online. A few people asked for them back. So I'm doing it. If you don't like it, then it ain't for you. I respect that. But I'm just gonna try, innit? Keep trying new content and see what works. Give me a second. I'm just gonna send a broadcast out, annoy some of the people that I got on WhatsApp and shit. And just gonna let people know that I'm live with this segment, just in case they're interested. A second, share, copy the link. Yeah, man, hit the like button if you're in. Let me know you're here. Big up Mike Pepper. Big up M52. Come on. Yeah, man. Okay, so I'm gonna let a few more people come in. What can I do in the meantime? Oh yeah, I gotta make you look. I gotta put the link to join the panel in here as well. Yeah, feel free to hit that like button, family. Make yourself comfy. What the fuck? No. All right. 1 second. Clipboard. Cool. Let's try again. Okay, that's better. Okay, so the link to join is in the description in case you want to hop on and have your voice heard and be there. Big up Somali speakers. Yeah, man, big up, man. Thank you for liking up the show. Thank you for choosing me on this Wednesday afternoon. It's my second broadcast of the day. Trying to switch it up a little bit. Right, so, boom. The 48 Laws of Power. You can see that that's what the book looks like. It's an international bestseller. What else do I know about the book? Let me see what I can find about the book. Let's investigate. 48 Laws of Power. It's available in audio format, PDF. It's going for £10.31 in Amazon, on amazon.co.uk. Wait, let me show you. Look at this shit together. Yeah. So as you see here, I just picked this book because I know it's quite a popular book. A lot of people have read it. A lot of people kind of heard about it, kind of interested in it. I've had this book for years. I'm not gonna try and give my personal views on the book or the contents. I think we could just go through that together. If you're interested, I'll read a little bit, and then we'll see how you feel about it. It's quite a small book. It's about roughly 195 pages. Yeah, I think it's an easy book to get into. The Kindle version is £6.17. The hardcover is £50.27, and the paperback is £10.31. But you can get used ones for as little as £4.80. You know, I think everyone should have a library of books. You know, with all kinds of subject matters. Right, so I'm gonna read what it says here. Yeah, it says this item's clear. Drawn from 3,000 years of the history of power, this is the definitive guide to help readers achieve for themselves what Queen Elizabeth I, Henry Kissinger, Louis XVI, Machiavelli learnt the hard way. Law 1, never outshine the master. Law 2, alright, so this is gonna never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Law 3, conceal your intentions. Law 4, always say less than necessary. The text is bold and elegant, laid out in black and red throughout, and replete with fables and unique word sculptures. The 48 laws are illustrated through the tactics, triumphs, and failures of great figures from the past who have wielded or been victimized by power. Yeah. So yeah, that's the synopsis. On the back of the book, it says there, how to get to the top and stay there. The 48 timeless and definitive laws of power. Law 1, never outshine the master. Law 2, never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Law 3, conceal your intentions. Law 4, always say less than necessary. Teaches you how to cheat, dissemble, feign, fight, and advance your cause in the modern world. That's written by the Independent on Sunday. Wonderfully researched, says the Daily Telegraph. At last, the book to help you scheme your way into the upper echelons of power, says the Daily Express. Masterclass for Machiavelli. Yeah. And on the front of the book, like the front cover kind of folds out, and when it unfolds, it says, "Some play with power and lose it by a fatal mistake. Some go too far or not far enough. Yet others make all the right moves and are able to draw power onto themselves with an almost superhuman dexterity. Amoral, cunning, ruthless, and instructive, the 48 Laws of Power was a piercing distillation of 3,000 years of the history of power. This new concise edition of the 500-page bestseller distills yet further the wisdom of great thinkers such as Machiavelli, Sun Tzu, and Karl von Clausewitz, and the legacies of statesmen, warriors, seducers, and conmen throughout the ages. The 48 Laws of Power is a definitive guide to modern manipulation. It could be one of the most entertaining and most useful books you will ever buy." So yeah, man. I mean, as you can see, it's got like good reviews and shit. Um, the author, Robert Greene, I'll show you who wrote the book. The author, Robert Greene. Let's find out a little bit about him. So this is what it looks like. Yes, big up D-Light Commission. Hold on. Mike Pepper, M52, Somali Speakers, Shizzle, Uchiha Trill, Carbonated Osaya, Lee Denham, D-Light Commission, Abu Laif bin Santa, Raw Beats, and yeah, What did I save you from, Raw Beats? What have I saved you from? Big up everyone. Listen, if you want to jump in and you know, spend a little time with me, kick it with me, you're more than welcome. No one ever jumped on this morning. Probably why I locked it off kind of early. You know, I don't really like the monologues when there's no one, there's no one there. I have to get angry to be in a monologue. That's something I'm gonna put an end to soon. I'm gonna learn how to channel that flow of consciousness. Because I haven't really been well in that. I think it's been a bit more difficult. But there was a time when I was really good at that, you know, and that's a talent in itself. Channeling your consciousness to the point where it just streams out and you can just speak for hours on anything. You know what I mean? Cool. Big up MMM, big up Mr. Lee. All right, so yeah, man, hit that like button if you don't mind, family tree. And let me show you what I'm looking at. I just realized that I've got this one. Right, so this is the author, Robert Greene. Let's read a little bit about him. Hope your Wednesday is blessed. Well, not blessed, man. Fuck, that's a backward step. Hope your Wednesday has been blissful, enjoyable, relaxing, constructive, progressive, all that good stuff. Robert Greene, born 14th of May, 1959, is an American author known for his books on strategy, power, and seduction. He has written 6 international bestsellers: The 48 Laws of Power, The Art of Seduction, The 33 Strategies of War, The 50th Law with rapper 50 Cent, Mastery, and The Laws of Human Nature. The younger son of Jewish parents, Greene grew up in Los Angeles, attended the University of California, Berkeley, before finishing his degree at the University of Wisconsin-Madison with a BA in classical studies. Before becoming an author, Greene estimates that he worked 80 jobs, including as a construction worker, translator, magazine editor, and Hollywood movie writer. In 1995, Greene worked as a writer at Fabrica, an art and media school in Italy, and met a book packager named Just Alphas. Greene pitched a book about power to Alphas and wrote a treatment which eventually became the 48 Laws of Power. He would note this as the turning point of his life. Amazing. All right. Greene's first book, The 48 Laws of Power, first published in 1998, is a practical guide to anyone who wants power, observes power, or wants to arm themselves against power. The laws are a distillation of 3,000 years of history of power, drawing on the lives and strategists and historical figures like Niccolo Machiavelli, Sun Tzu, Haile Selassie, Karl von Clausewitz, Queen Elizabeth I, Henry Kissinger, and P.T. Barnum. Each law has its own chapter, complete with a transgression of the law, observance of the law, and or a reversal. The 48 Laws of Powers have sold more than 1.2 million copies. It is popular with well-known rappers, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, and actors, including 50 Cent, Jay-Z, Kanye West, Busta Rhymes, Ludacris, DJ Premier, Drake, Dove Charney, Brian Grazer, Andrew Bynum, Chris Bosh, Michael Jackson, Courtney Love, and Will Smith. That's a weird list of celebrities, isn't it? Like, it's mad. It sounds like a hip hop who's who. I don't know. Do you feel that this book was aimed at black people? You know, I mean, my book is old, man. It's got like highlighting in there and everything. Yeah, my book is rusty, man. Let me show you my book. Once, twice, 3 times. Don't mind me. I was making mad songs, mad voices. Here we go. Boom. That's my rusty copy. Yeah. Highlighting and shit. But yeah, it seems like a lot of you have read this book, which is a good thing, because it wasn't really meant to be like, oh, let me help you discover this book. No, rather it was, let's just go over the book and see what we think about it. You know, I was gonna like do it over a couple weeks, read a couple chapters, discuss what we read. You know, just try something new. If you lot got book suggestions, which I'm sure you have, then hit me up. You know, maybe we could go over a couple books. I'm gonna drag out another book from my collection at some point. I don't know whether we'll read the whole book or just a little bit of it, or maybe you lot can suggest your favorite chapters, or I'll pick a random chapter. I'm not really sure how it's gonna go, man. I'm just gonna freestyle. Yeah, try and make it like a relaxing kind of chilled vibe. You know, no beef, no pasta, no nothing. Just conversation. I'd love for you to join me, but if not, I got this, man. I got this. I got this. And check out Readers or Leaders on Jedi Online. I've done about 4 episodes so far. Didn't really get much views, so I just locked it off. I thought nobody would really be interested, but I'm gonna persevere because I've had a few people ask for it back, and yeah, Kindle sucks. Yeah, I mean, I got a Kindle. I took it out of the box, and it went back in the box, and it's been there ever since. That's like Kindle is like 4, 5, 6 years old, something like that, man. Um, yeah, it's about 6 years old. I like the Kindle, not for me. Reading from my phone as well, not really feeling it. Reading from a laptop or whatever, not really feeling it. Like I want to hold a book in my hand and flick the pages. That's me. I want to lie in an awkward position. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'm on. Right, let's get to it, man. Don't make me waffle. Tell me, Jedi, you're waffling if I waffle, yeah? Right. Big ups to all of you lot. I'm just gonna put this on as a front cover, just I don't know. I think it's preferable. Big up Western Goddess. Big up yourself. Big up Captain Rambo. Captain Rambo, where you been? Jump on real quick, man. I don't know where you been, man. Be nice to come in, man. Come in. Don't know why you lot leaving me lonely today. Huh? Shit. Yeah, man. Let's see if Rambo jumps in. All right, shut your mouth, Raw Beats. I'm waiting for Rambo to jump in. Shut your damn mouth, mother. Shall I read the preface? Let me look at the preface. All right, I'm gonna read the preface. Yeah, it's not that big. Rambo, you coming in? Yes, no, maybe. Right. Well, if you do, I'll be here. Right. Here we go. It's the preface, yeah. The feeling of having no power over people and events is generally unbearable to us. When we feel helpless, we feel miserable. No one wants less power, everybody wants more. In the world today, however, it is dangerous to seem too power hungry, to be overt with your power moves. We have to seem fair and decent, so we need to be subtle, congenial, yet cunning, democratic, yet devious. The game of constant duplicity most resembles the power dynamics that existed in the scheming world of the old aristocratic court. Throughout history, a court has always formed itself around the person in power: king, queen, emperor, leader. The courtiers who filled the court were in an especially delicate position. They had to serve their masters, but if they seemed to fawn, if they curried favor too obviously, the other courtiers around them would notice and would act against them. Attempts to win the master's favor then had to be subtle, and even skilled courtiers capable of such subtlety still had to protect themselves from the fellow courtiers who at all moments were scheming to push them aside. Meanwhile, yo, Khalid, what one?
Yes. Well, go on, gents. What's going on, my brother?
What are you saying,
Hello, can you
man?
hear
You
me?
good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Love the show. Love the title, bro. The title drew me in. Readers are for leaders.
Yeah, readers are leaders, man. Readers are leaders, man. You get
Yeah,
me?
man. That's what I wanted to talk about. Leadership and power. You know? I
All right,
get
cool. Well,
come on. You know, it's
so
a conversation. You know your boy K convos. I like
so
convos and dialect.
yeah. So what I was gonna do, what I'm doing today, yeah, is
Mhm.
I've picked the 48 Laws of Power as a book that we're
Mhm.
gonna do like an online review.
Yeah,
So
straight. I'm
I'm
with you.
gonna
I'm with you.
I'm gonna
I'm with you.
I'm gonna read a little bit out of it. Then we're gonna talk
Mhm.
about it. And then I'll read a little
Mhm.
bit more. We'll talk, and then we'll do it again
Mhm.
next week, same time. You know, and
Yeah,
that way,
definitely.
for
Yeah.
people that don't usually pick up books or whatever, there might be a book I read that like sparks something in them, and it obviously, like you said, can raise good
Mhm.
conversation. So I'd love you to
Come
stick
on.
around.
I'm
Um,
there, fam. I'm
good,
there. I
good.
just got a couple of questions before we get into that.
All right, then go for it, brother.
I'm talking about power. What is power to certain people?
What's power to
Because
you?
power to me is the ability to control things around you. I
Mm,
don't know. I don't know. I'll go for that. And leadership. Because you know, like I've been being pushed to do this public talking thing, and I've been getting phone calls and okay, do this event, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really cut out for this. I'm not really cut out for this, you know the ones, but
mm,
so it comes with the power and the leadership. So that's the two things. When I clicked onto your thing, I said, "Oh, what?" Then I saw it. Then then you explained it. I was listening.
mm.
So that's a constant, Jed. And yeah, you know, you're a guy that I like your mindset. I like the way you think, Jed.
Big up, my
Apart
brother.
from
Thank you.
everything else, I don't really give a shit what no one says. I like generally. So I always wanted to ask. I always wanted to ask someone like power and leadership.
Mm.
How can how can people that have never been leaders aspire to try? I don't know. I don't know. And what
Um,
makes a good leader? The stuff like that.
I
Before we
think
get
what
into the
makes
book.
a good leader is he who recognizes his leadership.
Mhm.
Because what you said is some people never been leaders, and I don't believe that. I think
Mhm.
everybody's a leader. Some people are unwilling to take the responsibility. Some people
Mhm.
are childlike, and
Mhm.
they look for an adult, a guardian, to make hard
Mhm.
decisions for them. But even that
Mhm.
is a decision. Even that, you've led yourself to somebody that will lead you.
Mhm.
So I think
Mhm.
that everybody's a leader. Just some people
Mhm.
take responsibility, and some look to others for it. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Everyone's got leadership in them. So
Mhm.
if you felt like you've never led people before, then the
Mhm.
first thing you need to do is look at your life,
Mhm.
look at the choices you've made,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then, or the places you've been, or the things that's happened. Then look in the
Mhm.
mirror, hold yourself accountable, and that is the first. That's your first relationship with leadership. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Your
Mhm.
conscience. You know,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah,
what I would
broski.
say. Yeah, that's what I would say. So if you want to learn how to influence others, or if that's something that
Mhm.
you desire, whether for good
Mhm.
or bad reasons, first
Mhm.
study how you influence yourself and how you lead yourself.
100, 100. I had this conversation with Dan Jumbo before I got a little work promotion,
Yeah.
and then obviously, I ended up started becoming a speaker, started doing things in my community,
Yeah.
and then the little old K that used to just mind his own business. I'm getting phone calls, help this person, come speak to, and it's like I ain't cut out for this. Obviously, they've seen something in me. I'm thinking, well, what have you guys seen in me? Like, I'm not even cut out for this shit. So when I saw this title and I saw the book that you're reading, and I said, readers are for leaders. I thought, you know what, big up, just fuck the other streams that all in their dumb passa shit. Get me, I'd rather come here and learn and listen to something, you know, fruitful. I'm one of them people. I'm one of them
Mm,
people. I'd rather fuck bullshit. I'd rather listen. Like in 2020, I promised myself, if someone doesn't have a meaningful conversation,
mm.
I don't want to hear it now. You
Yeah,
get where I'm
yeah,
coming
yeah.
from, my
Yeah.
G. And I
I
don't
just
know.
spend an hour playing GTA, shooting people in the face and running around, running around on a motorbike, and
Yeah, yeah,
so like
yeah,
for
my G.
me, everything is about balance. I've seen like I think 4 people now or five
Yeah,
people now have stated in the last 26 minutes
yeah.
that there's other channels doing pass on, blah 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 blah.
We don't want to hear
Um,
it. Some people are not about that. Some people are about like, you know what? When I saw this, think about, I could have tuned in, but I said, no, fuck this,
Pass is
bro. What's
great
this?
though.
Leaders, yeah,
Pass is great.
this is my thing.
I'll tell you what's good about Passer, yeah.
Yeah,
Passer allows you to study psychology, innit?
in a
Um, uh,
different way.
yeah, and Passer is enthralling. It's
Mm.
captivating. You know,
Yeah, my G.
war, but
Yeah.
we always have to study war. You know,
Mhm.
you can't be reading
Mhm.
48 Laws of Power and then be saying when there's a war, we want to turn the other way and not see. You need to clock the strategies of men and women. You need to clock how people deal with conflict.
Mhm.
skills of resolution, ways to destroy your enemy, you know, hotspots not to go on, how to not leave yourself vulnerable to attack, because these things help you to relate to your inner war, your internal war. I think everything out there is to make you relate to yourself inside. So sometimes I know like the noise and it's like people are dumb and but like there's a lot to learn from people fighting and arguing. So let me just ask you, who was fighting and who's been conflicting today? Because I'm well out of the loop.
Well, same here. I'm well out of the loop. But like literally today was my day off. Went to my nan's house. I'm trying, usual, just kicking back to smoke a little thing or two. And I'm thinking, when you just slap on YouTube and you're like, oh, what? People are screaming on here. Some people are screaming. And early on this morning, I was on G Block. I had a fruitful conversation. So I thought, let me check on. And then, you just check on one too. I said, you know what, bun this, bun that. What's Jed's on? And I see, the title in a book that I've always fascinated me.
Yeah.
And
the stage a lot of people fascinated by the book, but like they don't pick it up or
I've never picked it up or never seen somewhere where it's read or never tuned in audio. And plus, like the stage of where my life is anyway. You get where I'm coming from? It's where I've took on extra responsibilities that I don't need to.
Yeah.
Or maybe this was something planned for. I don't know, Jets. Sometimes. And even, when you're out here public speaking and you said this and you said that and and you rub people up and it's like, raw. So I thought, you know what, this is a brand new topic. And when I saw readers are leaders, I thought, you know what, Jeds is onto something there.
Yeah.
Let me get a piece of this. Let me see what this is saying.
Like I said, man, check out some of my other ones I did on Jedi Online, on some other books and stuff like that. Where I got like a whiteboard. I'm in my shed. I got a whiteboard. Man's writing on a whiteboard, coming up with mad shit. Like that's the shit I enjoy in it. But different flavors for different ravers, man.
But that's what it is. That's what it is, bro.
All right, cool. One, Captain.
Salute, man.
How you doing, Cap, man? Where you been, brother? You all right?
They moved me to like fucking day shift, so like I've got 20 minutes. Like,
shit!
It's my break time now.
Well, that's good for you though, because night shift be fucking people up, man. It's not really that good for the health. So glad you got.
So it's day shift, bub. 12 hours in a bub, and no matter what, it's fucking horrible.
Mad thing. Yeah. All right, but it's good to hear from you, man. I was gonna try to come find you after a while because thinking, where the fuck is Captain? My co-pilot and that.
Everything's good, bro. Everything's good.
Oh, all right then. All right, cool. Right, just looking around, seeing who's here. Council of Nice Ears, Cine, Western Goddess. Council of Nice Ears, man. Nice to see you, bro. All right, cool. Let me get into this, man. People saying it's good to hear you, Captain. So let me just finish this preface, because I took a pause, I'm gonna start it again, Just bear with me. Like, I might encourage some people to take some notes. If you hear me reading something, take a note or something so that when I'm done and I'm asking questions, or you lot got questions, or there's something you want to discuss, it's easy for us to go through. Rather than me reading like a page of writing and then it just be silence, you got to work with me, So grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, scrap piece of paper, whatever. And if you hear something that you want to like talk about or want me to go back over, just scribble it down, write a little note or something, or do a mental note. It depends on how good you are. All right, cool. The feeling of having no power. The feeling of having no power over people and events is generally unbearable to us. When we feel helpless, we feel miserable. No one wants less power. Everyone wants more. In the world today, however, it is dangerous to seem too power hungry, to be overt with your power moves. We have to seem fair and decent. So we need to be subtle, congenial yet cunning, democratic yet devious. The game of constant duplicity most resembles the power dynamic that existed in the scheming world of the old aristocratic court. Throughout history, a court has always formed itself around the person in power: king, queen, emperor, leader. The courtiers who filled this court were in an especially delicate position. They had to serve their masters, but if they seemed to fawn, if they curried favor too obviously, the other courtiers around them would notice and would act against them. Attempts to win the master's favor then had to be subtle, and even skilled courtiers capable of such subtlety still had to protect themselves from their fellow courtiers, who at all moments were scheming to push them aside. Meanwhile, the court was supposed to represent the height of civilization and refinement. Violent or overt power moves were frowned upon. Courtiers would work silently and secretly against any among them who used force. This was the courtier's dilemma. While appearing the very paragon of elegance, they had to outwit and thwart their opponents in the subtlest of ways. The successful courtier learned over time to make all his moves indirect. If he stabbed an opponent in the back, it was with a velvet glove on his hand and the sweetest of smiles on his face. Instead of using coercion or outright treachery, the perfect courtier got his way through seduction, charm, deception, and subtle strategy, always planning several moves ahead. Life in the court was a never-ending game that required constant vigilance and tactical thinking. It was civilized war. At last page. Today we face a peculiarly similar paradox to that of the courtier. Everything must appear civilized, decent, democratic, and fair. But if we play by those rules too strictly, if we take them too literally, we are crushed by those around us who are not so foolish. As the great Renaissance diplomat and courtier Niccolo Machiavelli wrote, any man who tries to be good all the time is bound to come to ruin among the great number who are not good. The court imagined itself the pinnacle of refinement, but underneath its glittering surface, a cauldron of dark emotions, greed, envy, lust, hatred, boiled and simmered. Our world today similarly imagines itself the pinnacle of fairness, yet the same ugly emotions still stir within us as they have forever. The game is the same. Outwardly, you must seem to respect the niceties, but inwardly, unless you are a fool, you learn quickly to be prudent and to be, as Napoleon advised, place your iron hand inside a velvet glove. If, like the courtier of times gone by, you can master the arts of indirection, learning to seduce, charm, deceive, and subtly outmaneuver your opponents, you will attain the heights of power. You will be able to make people bend to your will without their realizing what you have done. And if they do not realize what you have done, they will neither resent nor resist you. Consider the 48 laws of power a kind of handbook on the arts of indirection. By studying the laws in this book, you will understand power and its properties, and by putting them into practice, you will be able to thrive in the modern world, appearing the paragon of decency while being the consummate manipulator. Ooh, what do you think about that then? Okay.
That sounds like Art of War, but on the level is on the same metaphor, yeah. Because when you go back and look at so-called Napoleon, he was very good at strategy because, as they're saying, charm. You need charm. You would need charm.
Offensive, isn't it?
Yeah, you need charm offenses to win over your opponent. Meaning you're weakening your. Basically, when you go into battle with your rival soldiers, basically you want to annihilate them, but
annihilate them.
Yeah. But what is your numbers might not be so strong. So what the book is trying to tell you is other strategies you have to use. You might not even get to your actual opponent you want because he might have some strong soldiers in front of him. So you've got to charm your way through. It's just like an art of war, but I could see the esoteric meaning to it. It's like I could see there's a hidden meaning to whatever that author is trying to put forth. Do you get what I'm coming from? Yeah. Very good strategy.
Yeah, Captain Rambo and Jeds. The bit that stood out for me when you were reading was the bit about a good man. That, you know, that bit there.
Yeah,
it just stood out for me.
Everybody thinks to them. Most of us think of ourselves as a good man, innit?
Yeah, and then when
And
he
then
said that,
you think of all the times you've been shat on, and you think, "Fuck, it's true," you know?
yeah, fam, that bit stuck out for me. I was like,
Yeah.
raw, what was this guy talking to me when them ones?
Yeah, me
And I was
too.
thinking
Me
to
too.
myself, raw, you know what? There are flashbacks in my head where times that you were good to people,
Yeah.
and it's like, raw, all right, cool.
You know what?
And
That page reminds me of. He seems like he's describing chess, right? Chess,
That's what I
because
was
even
gonna
in
say.
chess
Yeah.
or poker, you can't be
Yeah.
too bait about what you're really on. You
Yeah,
gotta
I'm a big chess player as well, man. You
see
got
it there.
when I learned to play chess, one of my uncles always taught me, always anticipate 3 moves behind you and never. And I remember something pictured in my head right now. What you just said, like my uncle's like always plan 3 steps ahead and always never reveal what you're doing. So this book's powerful. Yeah, you're going Caps.
No, I agree with you. I'm trying to open up your mind a bit more. Like, you know what? You see how we're talking about this is chess, yeah? And everybody always said that chess is a strategy game, but it also controls our very lives. Like, we got to realize that this is how the elite plays with us as well. Do you remember at one stage, America and fucking Britain looked good going to battle, so they tried to make it like world wars and cold wars and all of that. And now we've seen through the bullshit. Some of us is actually seeing that, you know what, this war is fucking plagiarized. You get where I'm coming from? So it still goes back to the chessboard, bro. And this is how this author is where it's coming from, bro. Like, whoever wrote this book was a fucking general, and he's got fucking stripes, bro. Yeah, the way how we explaining the wars, we like the same way we play chess. People are playing. Napoleon done this war. Many other so-called M&Ms did this fucking crusade. Get me, bro? And it's the same thing, Jedi, bro. It's like a very good book, but it takes wisdom to kind of put the missing. It's like a jitsu, you know where I'm coming from? Because that book there, if you put that book to Art of War, and it's the same type. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, but very good, bro. Very good, man.
But do you know,
out here is a war, though. It is a mental war we have.
What I wanted to say is what else stood out for me is, when the author, like earlier Jedi, when he was reading the author's autobiography about himself and his life, what stood out for me is the guy did 80 different type of jobs, and one of them was construction. That's what I mean. That's my field, innit?
But hear it though. Listen.
And do you think that helped, Jedi? Because you've done so much different craft.
But listen to what you just said. The whole wait, stop.
Yeah? Cool.
You just said a couple things, that just touched on what Rambo just said, Rambo said that he can see the esoteric part of this, You just turned around and said that you noticed my man mentioned that he was in constructions, And then you said many different crafts, So obviously construction, that is masonry, right? Stone masonry. You understand? So so he's there is a big clue in even the jobs he's done. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you,
first he done construction. Like anybody
straight away.
Straight away, you know what you mean. Plus, he shows that he did jobs in different countries, so you know he's a traveling man.
So, and that broadens your horizons. Like, I've been traveling.
But the term traveling man, the term traveling man and builder are both mean both the same thing in certain languages. That is the language of the title of a mason, right? A traveling man or a builder. So this is definitely letting you know what school of thought these lot come from.
Say no more.
I didn't even check it, family.
But brother, see when you go to work tomorrow, look at things that way, bro. And I'm telling you, fam, like these people do exactly what we do, but guess what we don't do? We don't take our craft very seriously. You get where I'm coming from? Where it's maths in there. You get what I'm saying? It's science in our craft, No matter if you a recording artist or you a builder is like you got mathematics and you got geography, you got bare things in that craft where you should really study more in your field, bro. Because these authors could do this what this author is doing, but this author allowed himself to come out the box. You go on coming from, and 25 years later, he's making fucking books like his Power Within and Power. Shake it all about to get me, bub.
Yeah, give me a second. Beefy.
Beefy.
Little
black
black.
Well,
Can I just touch on something what Jada was saying
Yeah.
about the traveling man and the
Yeah.
builder being the same thing?
Yeah.
If you look back in time when the City and Guild started, an apprentice had to travel far
Wow.
Thank
to go
you.
and get the experience and come back home and do his craft.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I remember City Guilds. Yeah, I remember. I've been to a couple of courses through City Guilds.
NVQs, yeah? Right.
Yeah.
Let's still going today.
Beefy.
What?
You remember
Yeah.
when we were younger, they did say when you went off and done any plumbing, like especially 16 and 17, you'll become apprentice. Yeah.
Kids an apprentice.
If you was got to be a carpenter, like your uncle, your dad would take you out to be a
No,
carpenter.
but remember back in the days, there was no copyright. Remember, back in the days, there was no copyright thing.
No.
So a craftsman had to keep his trade secret. You know what I'm saying? So if I was making certain chairs, I had to keep that skill secret, so no one could also copy. So everyone will have to come to me for that chair. Then my apprentice have to come and learn off me my trade, and he has to keep his secret. That trade has to keep his secret. And when he goes back to his house, he keeps it on. You know what I'm saying? But there's no copyrights, no issues. So the trade was a secret because your way of life. So you have to keep that secret of how you done things. And you get apprentices come in and pass on the knowledge.
Yeah. You're very right there, because what's happened there is now if you're under the age, I'll be real, if you're under the age of 35, you might not allowed to get away with no fucking on-hands experience, bro. They would ask you if you got NVQ or diploma. My library boy, like when you go to college now, it's all sitting bills. If you go on the building site, they want to know that now. If you're a certain age, you can get on the building sites today with that, but today now they made sure they threw that out the window, bruv. Like they want your fucking sitting gills before you say, "Oh, I'm a master mason and I don't paperwork." But big up.
Yeah, man. Big up Sosa. Big up Hannibal Russ. Big up Magical. Big up Imhotep. Yeah, man. So let me read a little bit more. This is the first chapter coming up now. The first chapter, law number 1. Yeah. I don't know how much to read. I'm gonna read.
Just read some, man. Just read some.
Read a little something. Yeah. All right. Cool. So this is the first page. 48 laws of power. Looks like that. Tiny. Look, tiny. Tiny. So don't get put off for certain books, because they sometimes they come in bite size. It's not much. Okay, so let's read this. Chapter 1 says, never outshine the master. Someone write that in the comments so I can highlight that, please. Never outshine the master. Just from the title alone, it's deep. Okay, judgment. Always make those above you feel comfortably superior. In your desire to please and impress them, do not go too far in displaying your talents, or you might accomplish the opposite. Inspire fear and insecurity. Make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power.
Respect your elders, because when your elders is guiding you and showing you the path, get me? Like, don't, because you might know 1 or 2 things, doesn't mean that you are what's it called, more wiser than your elders or more wiser than a master. Just be humble. You always stand. Try to learn all of his moves and all of his strategy. Try to keep your bowl empty.
See me, yeah. I don't know about you, bro. I don't know about you, Carmen, but see me. I think this has been one of my greatest mistakes. Yeah, accidentally coming across as brilliant, accidentally coming across as somebody that could take over this thing. That someone, do you know what I mean? And I never clock until I'm out of the job or out of the position, and I'm like, shit, what happened? Yeah, man, you shone too bright. You shone too bright. When you shine too bright, you scare off those. Who was it? Who was just talking? Someone was talking. Who was saying that? No. Someone was saying,
yeah.
Okay, my brethren, Prince Saxy, he's saying that in his workplace, they keep he's more qualified than his manager, and they keep making jokes that one day he's gonna run the place. Yeah. So he's in that perfect position right now where it's like your skills are being noted, but if you start trying to shine too bright before you get that stronghold, somebody might just boot you out just so that you don't. Do you know what I mean?
Facts. So facts. Jedi, listen to this. Bing is walking, right? We're on the path, yeah, together. So walk with me. It's this. I said to you, come in my studio, and I'm showing you, rude boy, just watch me and take heed, yeah? And you'll find out, yeah, bro, right? That some people get cut off before they reach their goal because that student, or he might been in that place for a couple of months, and that's the worstest thing. You think you know it all, or even a couple of years. Some men has actually told you, fam, I'm your manager. I've been here for 20 years, right? Yeah, and you try to do everything in 5 years, bro. Just to say that. This is where that book is trying to tell you. You will get booted. There's so many of us through our ego blocks our main goal. Like you start off the job good, then all of a sudden the manager said, "Can you come here for 1 minute? I want to meet with you." Boom, boom, boom. He's trying to tell you, humble yourself. You're acting too flash, but because you know what I mean, you haven't really.
You know what he's gonna say to you, Rambo? It's like,
yeah,
he's gonna say some shit like, no, he's gonna say some shit like, well, I just want to let you know how we do things around here. That's a straight like play for dominance. You understand? I run things around here, and
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, so don't come around here with your flash ideas. But the thing is, being in school, you would think that you going to work and shining was what was expected of you. Like, do you know what I mean? You would think that. You think, wow, go to school.
No, but that is. Don't you remember Snakes and Ladders? We got Snakes where you could. Where they will tell you when you go in your job, be confident, and guess what? They don't tell you how far confident you should be. Yeah, be smart, but they don't tell you it's good to be smart, but not too smart. You understand? Yeah. Right? It's things where it's like Snakes and Ladders, and this is all you see on these checkered boards. Yeah.
Go on, Khalid.
My friend. Big up, Khalid.
Yeah, I was about to say, Rambo, on that note, with the school sort of system, don't you think the school's indoctrinated to teach you not about life?
Yeah.
Bro,
you know where I'm coming from. Like school just teaches you.
I love that. But as I always say to you, the same way it's a pipeline, is also your gatekeeper. Your school is your is the gatekeeper. So after school, that is when you really know that everything they taught you is either bullshit or not. It's down to the individual. Some people actually took what they learned from school and actually made something for themselves. And some people made it downfall. Do you get where I'm coming from? Yeah? So school can make you a fool or school can make you wise. You understand, but you have to learn. And it takes experience. Yeah, no way you could leave out of school and think you could own a house and all of that by the time you're 18. Yeah, this is where downfalls start playing in, and that's why I say, rude boy, it's like Snakes and Ladders. This is just the wisdom of Snakes and Ladders, but I'm just telling you in a nutshell. So all your ideologies should fit in that. What is the snakes or what is the ladders? You understand? But it's all on the it's all the same checkerboard where these same strategies are also played on. So big up yourselves. 10 minutes and I'm off, bro.
Hit and run, yeah, man. Hit and run.
No, it's too much man on the panel, so I'm not gonna hit that one. We just have to teach and
teach and leave.
Yeah.
No hit and run. No hit and run. Yeah. Teach and delete. Yeah. Teach and retreat.
Yeah.
Yo,
Beefy,
what you gonna say, something, brother? Beefy, don't know what's in that packet. What you gonna say, something, bro? Yo, Beef. I can hear you munching.
Yo, Cuddy.
All right, well, yeah, let him go and come back. All right, so in power play, I suppose it's difficult. It's a different set of rules of engagement, and so different tactics, more stealth, and about being shrewd. Yeah, man. I mean, Cindy said that it's about dimming your own light. Sounds really sad when you say it. I think it's very counterintuitive for lots of us. Like I said, I think even the school system would tell you to shine your brightest. Yeah, that's when you're listening to the lessons, you would believe that shining your brightest was the best. But when you watched the examples of people, then you might see something different. Do you know what I mean? But by listening to the lessons and looking at the other students, you know, you put your hand up. But yeah, I even learned that in school. Like putting your hand up too many times made you stand out for the wrong reasons. You want to find that middle line where if you weren't in a class, no one would like notice you're not there. If you're doing something wrong, no one's gonna think it's you straight away. Being a smarty pants always got you in trouble. I was a fucking smarty pants.
Yeah, but here's this though. Hear this. Sorry to cut you. Can that master be your higher self though, Jedi? Because if you're looking at things as another paradox now, and in an esoteric way, that master could be your higher self, innit? Like it's also telling you, don't underestimate yourself, really. You know where I'm coming from?
Yeah. That's just because like me and Khaled were saying that, like, basically I think that this book is about, like, he was asking me about leadership, and I was like, basically I think that you are your own leader. So yeah, to refer this back to yourself is actually quite interesting. I mean, so you're saying never outshine yourself?
Maybe yourself up. It's true. Like, remember, you always, like, if you look at yourself 10 years ago, then to 5 years ago, until now, you have changed. You always change. No one can ever tell you that you're the same person who you was 20 years ago, Jedi. So it's very fact. And you do learn from who? Your damn self.
Yeah.
Like, it's very, and how do you learn of yourself? By relating with your society and learning in your environment where you are in, regardless if you're in your workplace or in the studio environment or wherever you are, you're still learning. Sorry, bro.
No, you're good. Good. Okay.
That's why I said, can you relate with your higher self?
Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Wow, this man. Anyway, so man just sent me something about some Philip Schofield mix-up fuckery. You know what I mean? Power is always given, never owned. Power is always given, never owned. Aria. That's an interesting statement there. Never be the smartest in the room, says M52. Surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. I read this somewhere.
Yeah, makes sense. But you have to make sense out of the nonsense.
All right, let me read a little bit more, yeah? Another page. This is under the subheading, Keys to Power. Everyone has insecurities. When you show yourself in the world and display your talents, you naturally stir up all kinds of resentment, envy, and other manifestations of insecurity. This is to be expected. You cannot spend your life worrying about the pretty feelings of others. With those above you, however, you must take a different approach. When it comes to power, outshining a master is perhaps the worst mistake of all. Do not fool yourself into thinking that life has changed much since the days of Louis XVI and Medicis. Those who attain high standing in life are like kings and queens. They want to feel secure in their positions and superior to those around them in intelligence, wit, and charm. It is a deadly but common misconception to believe that by displaying and vaunting your gifts and talents, you are winning the master's affection. He may feign appreciation, but at his first opportunity, he will replace you with someone less intelligent, less attractive, less threatening. This law involves 2 rules that you must realize. First, you can inadvertently outshine a master simply by being yourself. They are masters who are more insecure than others, monstrously insecure. You may naturally outshine them by your charm and grace. If you cannot help being charming, you must learn to avoid such monsters of vanity, or find a way to mute your good qualities when in their company. Second, never imagine that because the master loves you, you can do anything you want. Entire books could be written about favorites who fell out of favor by taking their status for granted for daring to outshine. All right, let me read that piece. What do you think about that bit? I'm gonna leave it there.
Hey, you know what? That piece there is related to something outside of yourself now. Alright, look, there is various leaders who've tried to so-called outshine their masters, and assassination hits and plots and all sorts of stuff has occurred onto them. So I will say that, boy, now that will just put doubt in the student anyway. And this reminds me of a Moses story when Moses was talking through his so-called tests, you know. Boy, all I've got to say to that now is that, boy, I told you, bro, who is the master? If that's related to your inner self, then you always will have that. Bro, you know, that's a hard twist there, bro. I can't really answer that, bro. That's okay. I get where it's coming from, though.
Right.
Jeds and Rambo, I was more interested in the, you know, the insecurity bit. That kind of stood out for me. Was he trying to say, don't worry about what people think of you, or is it constantly doubting yourself? Rambo and Jeds, is it?
It says here, when you show yourself in the world and display your talents, you naturally stir up all kinds of resentment, envy, and other manifestations of insecurity. So, for instance, put it on a really basic dead level, something that I think none of us really are into, but you know, you do a little grind, you get your P up, you cop yourself a chain. Next thing now, instead of feds or things of that nature, now you got to look out for the man them. Now you got to look out for gal them that will set you up to get your chain snatched. Yeah, because you're shining. Yeah, this is what it's talking about. The minute you start shining out there, there's always someone that wants to snatch your chain and hate on you. Not even because they want the chain or they need the chain, because they don't want you to have a chain, because it shines and it attracts attention. So yeah, I mean, people on a low level, like you yourself, for instance, saying on a come up, so you're not like the masters of this thing. You like do this crab in a bucket, crab in a barrel thing, where we try to dim each other, pull each other down from getting to a point where we can't reach them or we can't compare to them. So I think this is what it's really talking about. Yeah, people that have insecurities in them are gonna see you shining, K, and be like, nah, K is cool, innit? But you know, like, I know one brother.
It's happened to me. It's happened to me in the past.
Or I know one brother that stuck it on him. He wasn't on it. Or I know one gal that says that he's got a small dick or whatever. You get me, car. You got to do something to detract from the light that you clearly shine with. But at the same time, they're saying on that level, don't watch that. Do your thing. You can't really be watching them people. Yeah. On a bigger boy level of the realms that you're trying to ascend to, you wanna turn it down. You wanna dull it. You don't want to make too much waves, and you don't want someone thinking, "Rah, in a couple of weeks' time or a couple of months' time, he's gonna take me over." I've seen a lot of people operating like this. I think maybe even subconsciously. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, come on, man. Come on, man. I had brothers taking my videos down for my channel, and I just started. And I had to look at these guys like, all right, cool, you lot are a gang. I'm just coming on some John Wick shit.
Yeah.
And obviously, you've seen me in the park a couple of times. A couple of people see me, noticing me, and it's like, okay, cool. And then since I've been started all of this, I was like, wow.
Yeah, but
you're not taking, you're not going. I know, and I'm like, you're actually going to YouTube, recording me and taking shit down that's beneficial for our people. And I was like, okay, because you said a couple of statements. So that's when I started realizing. So some of this, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, this book's kind of reflecting on my heart. It's like, raw, you know, every time I'm thinking, shit, raw, like this, you get me? You get where I'm coming from, Jeds?
Yeah, but like it says, you can't spend your time worrying about the petty feelings of others. So
yes, that's the growth. That's the growth.
So don't even watch it. Don't even penny it. If anything, I'm sure later on in this book, it's going to show you how to even use that and manipulate that person's insecurities to make you even more powerful, because that person is making a statement. When they do, when the first thing a hater does is prove that you are doing something. You know, people will say, if you ain't got haters, you ain't doing shit, right?
You ain't popping.
Yeah, that's a psychological truth, right? So,
you know, I've got to go, fam.
Big up yourself, Captain,
big
man.
Up everybody.
All right, Caps, man. Me and Jez are gonna try to hold up the show, innit?
Yeah, we're gonna try to chop it up a little bit more.
Keep it up, man. Keep it up. Keep the skills flowing, bro. You know?
No, this is powerful. This is powerful, man. This is needed.
Man, it's good, man. Big up yourself.
All right, Rambo. We'll link up soon, yeah?
Yeah, man. Bless up.
All right, say nothing, brother. Yeah, so you just gotta keep doing your thing. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm sure later on it's gonna show you how to use that jealousy or that envy or whatever it is you're creating that people trying to smother. You'll be able to use that, because man is betraying themselves by doing actions like that. Do you know what I mean? Killing people with kindness is kind of like the aim of this book. Killing them with kindness until you get to a point where it don't matter if they see you cutting their throat. There's nothing they can do about it. Moodbest said something. Yeah, Moodbest said something. Moodbest said that one of his brethren was reading this book, and then started using the techniques on his friends, and they called him a pussy. I'm not gonna lie. When I first picked up this book, maybe about 10 years ago, I read some of it, and I thought to myself, I read one particular scenario about some girls and get ready for a party and that, and I thought that it was so foul. It was so foul. I was like, nah, this is not right. This is not how you behave. This ain't what friendships is about or whatever. I think I was a little bit immature and very, very pure, very, very innocent. And I think a lot of people are going to read stuff in this book that's going to make them think, wow, I could never act like that, or wow, this is not for me. And that's a telltale sign in how ready you are to accept the truth of what this world is. Like, I don't manipulate my friends at all, but I definitely think that knowing the art of manipulation is akin to survival. You need to know how to survive out here. And where I haven't been manipulating and where I haven't used these skills, I found myself at the bottom of the ladder when I actually should be at the top. And you ask yourself why. You see the people that are at the top, and you see how they're dishonest, you see how they manipulate, you see how they ride the fence. You know what I mean? They don't cause too much waves. Do you know what I mean? And they only kill people that they know is not going to give them a struggle, or they kill people that they know the crowd want to see killed. It's weird, man. Like, I'm the opposite of all these things put in this book. So that means that maybe innately I'm not destined for this type of power. But by reading over the book, I can maybe try and harness some of it and practice some of these skills like a muscle and get better at it, because I think in the greater world, I need this shit. You know?
Yeah, 100.
The thing is, you can use the knowledge to use it for good, says Allah. Okay. I think it's more a reflection of the inner workings of society than a manual. Being aware of it is surely helpful. Yeah, I hear you. But the problem is some people are using it as a manual. They literally are. Get
like
me?
like a sort of religious text.
I mean, people live like, bruh,
At the
people are.
end of the day, it is a book.
The more you read this here, the more you're gonna realize you're gonna be like, fucking hell. People are using this on me now.
Straight up.
Yeah. You're gonna see it. You're gonna clock it. It's deep. Get me? He just put it into words what people have been doing for centuries.
And he articulated in such a way that it reflects now, and you're like, raw. And I had flashbacks in certain scenarios in life, and I was like, fucking hell. And that's right, you know. You get where I'm coming from, Jets? That's creep. That's blue keeper. I'm not gonna lie to you. But carry on, my GG.
Yeah, Arla's making some good points. Arla says, "Where's that bit you said? Where's your bit, Arla? It always comes back to being humble while doing your thing. That way, those in power never see you as a threat. That's basically that's if you put it even more simply than this, brother. Being humble while still doing your thing. That's all it is.
Straight up, Arla. And then she said, there's an evil side to this book as well.
Of course, very evil. Like, I didn't want to say it. I don't want to lead people into it and give my own opinion, but I just did because I'm dumb. But yeah, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud, but I wanted man to see how they felt about it. It's kind of mad, especially when it tells you how to use certain things in your friend circle. You're like, rah. And then you realize you've actually got one friend that's doing this shit. You're like, fuck's sake. Yeah.
That one guy that everyone was thinking, what's wrong with this Donny? Like, why is this Donny like this?
Yeah.
You get me? Yeah, but I've had a couple of Donnies like that, and I was thinking to myself, but this book's powerful. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's powerful.
All right, let me finish this because we're nearly at the end of this chapter.
All right, say that.
Knowing the dangers of outshining your master, you can turn this law to your advantage. First, you must flatter and puff up your master. Overt flattery can be effective, but has its limits. It is too direct and obvious, and looks bad to other courtiers. Discreet flattery is much more powerful. If you are more intelligent than your master, for example, seem the opposite. Make him appear more intelligent than you. Act naive. Make it seem that you need his expertise. Commit harmless mistakes that will not hurt you in the long run, but will give you the chance to ask for his help. Masters adore such requests. A master who cannot bestow on you the gifts of his experience may direct rancor and ill will at you instead. If your ideas are more creative than your master's, ascribe them to him in as public a manner as possible. Make it clear that your advice is merely an echo of his advice. If you are naturally more sociable and generous than your master, be careful not to be the cloud that blocks his radiance from others. He must appear as the sun around which everyone revolves, radiating power and brilliance, the center of attention. In all of these cases, it is not a weakness to disguise your strength, if in the end they lead to power. By letting others outshine you, you remain in control instead of being a victim of their insecurity. This will all come in handy the day you decide to rise above your inferior status. If you can make your master shine even more in the eyes of others, then you are a godsend and you will be instantly promoted. It goes, image. The stars in the sky, they can only be one sun at a time, never obscure the sunlight or rival the sun's brilliance, but rather fade into the sky and find ways to heighten the master's star's intensity, authority. Avoid outshining the master. All superiority is odious, but the superiority of a subject over his prince is not only stupid, it is fatal. This is a lesson that the stars in the sky teach us. They may be related to the sun and just as brilliant, but they never appear in her company. And that was written in 1601 by Balthasar Gracian. So yeah, they're saying the stars, be like a star. Twinkle, do your shit. When the sun's not around, be bright as a motherfucker. But see when that sun's about, fall back. Ha ha! Fall back. Fall back.
So
That's some work.
Alright, Jed. So sometimes in a battle in life, you have to know when to fight and when to fall back.
Yeah, of course.
Is that the gist of it? Basically?
You have to know when to shine, and you have to know when to play your position.
Mm-hmm.
Too many times, when it's time to play your position, you're trying to shine, and then the one that thinks that they're supposed to be the main sort of source of light, catches other people looking at you when they should be looking at him or her, and that's a problem. That's where that jealousy or that insecurity starts breeding. So I would reserve this for like work kind of situations when you have a direct employer. Shine over your employees, your fellow employees, by all means, shine. But don't shine so bright that they want to set you up, or that your master wants to set you up. Find that middle ground. Do you know what I mean? Become in what's it?
Incognito.
I was gonna say inexpendable. Become inexpendable to your master. Be something where your master's like, I like that guy, you know. Like, you get me? And when you're around your master, you're like, yeah, I'm master. Like, you know, like the way you break shit down is so sick. Or the way you dealt with that customer. My God, man, where did you do that? What kind of training did you do? Like, blah, blah, blah. I wish, like, you know, like, so then my man looks at you like an apprentice rather than the next up and coming. Yeah.
Rather than a threat.
Sit there. I mean, that is easier said than done, though. I think it's actually quite difficult for some people to dim themselves in that way, because maybe we got egos, or maybe it's just not natural to pretend.
I know, yeah, like, it's like me, bro. You see, with me, like I say, sometimes I have to walk into a group of some frickies from like Luton or something, and you know when they see a Somali brother on the site, like telling them what to do. Do you get where I'm coming from, Jed? So I have to politically play it in such a way where if I don't get these guys to do what they're doing, the job stops. You know, the whole job stops.
Yeah.
And that's how I was talking about leadership. So it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
It does. It's all falling in place.
It's mad when you get told to. It's mad when you get told to like tell a group of people like to do this.
Yeah, strangers as well. That's what I'm saying. Imagine
like, who's my? Does my man think he's bad? But you do it in the right way. So when you go to them, you do it in a way where you're just like, yo, listen, man, my man's trying bare shit. Like, you get me? Like, he's saying we got to do this, but guess what? If we just bang this out now, we probably can go home early. I've done these type of things in my workplace. Not gonna lie, drop it to the other employees in a way where none of them don't feel insecure. Because me, if we're working in a team, Khalid, you could come to me and be like, "Bro, gents, you take left, I take right, boom, 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 boom," and we're just gonna go and get to work. But I've noticed a lot of people, when you do that to them, they're like, "Man, try to tell me what to do, you know. Man, try to talk to you." It's like there's insecurity is big out here in this world. It's big. You get me? It leads many decisions. Why people like you, why people don't like you. Insecurity is a big thing. Get me?
It is, G. It is. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because there's times where I'll be like, yo, let's get it, like you're saying, let's get it cracking, fam. We're finishing 5, but I'm trying to finish 4:30. You know what I'm on? You know what I'm on? I'm trying to get paid that extra hour. I don't want everyone to be out of the site. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's motivating them, gets on my nerves. Because, you know, it's like a culture clash, and they're thinking, who the fuck is, you know, who the hell is this guy? You seen that? You know them ones? And sometimes you have to stoop to their level, like, you're all right, mate. You know, you have to change up the accent sometimes just to make them feel comfortable. You're manipulating the play. You get where I'm coming from, my G?
Yeah. All right, Golden Bobby. In there,
come on.
In there doing the old copy and paste from the old Wikipedia. We've read that already, mate. We read that bit already, mate, Golden Bobby. But I'll throw that up on the screen. Cheers for that, geez. I mean,
Jed, that's the accent. And then when I'm in Tottenham, it's like, nah, blood, man, bun all of that. You know what I'm on? Hey, flip it back.
Yeah, mate. Right, here's what we do, mate. You any good at blah blah blah? Right. Could you look after? And then you know the one that's got the ego problem.
Yeah.
You tell him, mate. Could you look after that lot? Do you know what I mean? You put him in a position of power. So he's like, all right, cool. Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, I do that, bro. I do that. Yeah. If you could take charge of them lot, blah, blah. You say to the man with the least ego, I beg you, listen to Bobby, innit? Because Bobby, like, you know, Bobby knows what I go on. So if any issues, go to Bobby and Bobby. Now, Bobby's feeling good. Bobby's feeling good. He's not even clocking the fact that you're delegating now. Bobby, like, before that, Bobby would have been like, yeah, what the fuck are you doing, though? You telling us what to do. Now, you told someone else to listen to Bobby. Bobby's calm. He's calm. He's like, yeah, nice. Because the boss is going to see that I was in charge of this little group and, yeah, you're nice. I'm nice. It's mad gameplay. Yeah. I feel like, I feel like most of the time I'm too lazy to play these type of dumb games, bro. I just want to get to the suck your mother part. Like, you know, I just want to get to the direct bit, like, where it's like, what?
Oh, no.
You get me?
Oh, no. Oh, no, G.
That's a loser's perspective, you know. Like, I will lose every time if I keep doing that, bro.
Yeah, come on.
Bro, I just lost out on such a lovely space, like, and it fucking burnt me, bro. And the only reason why I lost out on this thing is because I'm an outspoken brother, and my outspokenness is there for people to see. Somebody saw it, and before I even got to move to the space, they put a block in it because they was nervous that I'd come in there and speakers corner up their blood clot.
That's what happened to me, G. Imagine this, I was in one site in Collindale, innit? Imagine this, Jez, before I started this other, because me and the company, we move up and down, innit,
yeah.
So whenever they need a guy like me, a slinger, so I'm there. One of the guys was just, you know, one guy just stares at you. And I ain't had this, innit, like, you know, because I'm like I'm saying, I'm new to this public speaking thing, innit?
Mm-hmm.
The guy's just staring at me. It's like, you know, it's like, I know this Donny. But, you know, one man's never seen Donny, like, it's like, I know, and then boom.
You hit him.
Are you? Yes, it's that. Are you that guy from where? And I was like, oh shit.
Then you start realizing how bait that thing is, isn't it?
Yeah, now I started realizing. Yeah,
it's peak. It's peak, bruv. You know?
You get me? Yeah. So that story you were telling me, I can imagine, like, especially with guys like you and I'm respecting it. Yeah, that's been doing the scene for a hot minute.
Yeah.
You must get a hell of that shit.
Yeah, all day, every day, man.
All day,
every day. 99.9% of the time it's positive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really say I've had too many negative experiences.
Yeah, same here. I've only met 2 people that know me, and they're like, "Yeah, bro, I love what you guys do, man. Keep it up." And some people are like, ask that person that question for me. I'm like, "Fuck you, no, mate. I don't even know. By the time it's Sunday, I'm thinking of something else. You get where I'm coming from? Yeah, so sometimes this public speaking, you see, when you're outspoken, like, I've always been an outspoken person. You get where I'm coming from? I've never been one to shy away from what I feel like, what I like, you know, no filter. I'm a no filter brother, innit?
No filter. Like, no filter. And no filter gonna get you fucked over now. Like,
it is.
Like, ultimately, I think this is what we're trying to learn, isn't it? Like, how to filter. But filter by choice, so that's empowering to you. But we see it as, like, you know, like Cindy said it earlier, dulling your light or dulling yourself. And I don't think no one with self-respect really wants to do that. But if you see it as part of a greater, a wider strategy to empower yourself in the end, then yeah.
I'm here.
Run. But boy, so yeah, that was chapter 1. The best boss is one that leads by example. See it there, Mills. Big up Mills, man.
Come on, Mills.
That was chapter 1. Let me know. Hit a 7 if you want to go into chapter 2. You know, chapter 2 is just like 2 pages long. It's tiny. We can, but hit a 7. Hit a 7 in the chats if you want chapter 2. Chapter 2 is entitled "Never Put Too Much Trust in Friends. Learn How to Use Enemies." Woo! Juicy.
Woo! We're getting in there. Nah, we're getting in. This is the one. This is the chapter I've been looking for.
Juicy, man. Juicy. So
we have to run this.
Before we start, though, kindly tell me, like, never put too much trust in friends. Let's break that bit down first. Like, what's that saying to you?
Well, you know what? Recently, and this is a recent event. There was a Donny that in our circle, because my circle now is getting smaller and smaller. You get where I'm coming from? Man's are all hitting their 30s, and I'm in my early 30s. You know, you get where I'm coming from. So man, them have moved on. Man's got careers. Man are married, kids. All of that's come.
Yeah.
And yeah, some man are in jail for a long time. Some man are coming out from a long bird when we were a teenager. You get where I'm coming from. So one of the Donnies in our circle, 15 years. Every time he gets a problem and he's cracking, he's under pressure, he likes to take it out on everyone else. You get where I'm coming from. So he was a very detrimental person in the circle. So it showed, man, sometimes you got not everyone around you wants the best for you, because you started seeing brothers moving on, everyone getting careers, and you know, when someone's life is stagnated, they're still stuck doing the same thing that we did 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and you're still keeping up with the fuckery. And you know what I'm on. So it shows me with the friend thing, you have to evolve as a human being. Sometimes you have to step yourself out of certain circles and say, you know what, you ain't really my friend, bro. Like, if you're preing it, you get me? You just want people's downfall. So really, truthfully, you're just here for the fuck up. You get where I'm coming from? And you're just being an agent.
It's in Blue Story.
No, I ain't seen that. Is that new UK film? Nah, bro. You know, I've just been so busy nowadays. I ain't even watch none of my series. I don't even watch football no more, G.
Yeah, fuck football. My series, I've not kept up with my series at all.
Yeah. So what do you think about the friend thing, Jeds? What do you think about that?
Never put too much trust in friends. I mean, like, to be honest, chapter 1 spoke directly to me. Chapter 2 speaks directly to me. I think in the past, I have been that person. To put trust in friends, innit? I think I would rather exchange that word trust nowadays for something else, because I don't think I'm no longer a trusting person. I don't deal with the concept of trust anymore. Now I take calculated risks. So I'm hoping that when I read this chapter, I'm already on this level, innit? Yeah. Trust is a luxury I can't afford. I can't afford to trust people. Not because I've been hurt so many times or but because I recognize the weakness in man, and I also recognize the weakness in me, and I realize that people lie to themselves, people lie to God, people lie to their families. There's no reason why they wouldn't lie to me. So the more that I've tried to detach my ego from this reality, the more I've been able to accept that people most likely can fuck up, and it could be anybody in the world. Somebody said something to me one time, and it just hit such a chord with me. Like, I had a friend, I've got a friend that went somewhere and stole something from someone. And I didn't know nothing about it. I flew to their defense, like, nah, he wouldn't do it. He ain't got no need to do it. It was like money. It was £50. He ain't got no need to do it. He doesn't need to do it. He's got his own money. We make money. Like, there's absolutely no reason for him to steal this money. And then the person I was chatting to was like, yeah, but this is where you're going wrong. You're trying to think of motive. You're trying to think of a reason why he would do it. And because you can't see a reason why he'd do it, you're ruling out that he would do it. But don't you know that people just do things just because they can sometimes? And I'm like, fucking hell, that's so real. I've done things just because I can. I got in a shop and stole something with a pocket full of money. You know what I mean? And another one would probably be, well, I've got money. Are you dumb? Like, all right. Why did you do it? Just because you could, innit? And I know it was a minor thing. It was a minor thing. My brethren did lie to me about it. My brethren did lie to me about it and say he never done it. And in the end, I think it became bait for me that he had done it. But the lesson I learned was, people do things for no reason sometimes. Just because you don't understand the reason why someone's done something or why someone would do something doesn't mean they won't do it. So
on hindsight, Jedi, that means basically don't leap to certain people's defense all the time.
Just don't put anything past anybody, and
that's more like it.
Don't let your ego try and rationalize what could be done or what couldn't be done. Because that's how you're gonna get killed. Yeah, like, we all seen the film, innit? And when the person is actually faced with the person that takes their life, they're like, oh my God, I never thought it would be you.
Yeah.
Your ego led you to that place of comfortability where you never considered, you know what I mean? And then on the flip side, in the other film, the hero or whatever is riding with this best friend or whoever. In the end, the best friend turns around, backs out the whap, aims at a man, goes to shoot, click, 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 click. And the hero's looking at man like, are you dumb? Like, did you think I would underestimate you? Like, do you understand what I'm saying? So
yes, my GG.
Like, always be prepared for always expect the unexpected. Don't put anything past anybody. Take calculated risks, and that way there is no need for trust. So I got people around me that I take a calculated risk that they got my back and I've got theirs, innit? But I know anytime at any place things could change, things could switch. Like, from past relationships I've been in where the girl's like, oh, I'd never, oh my God, I will never, oh my all that dick is on tap and regular. Oh my God, I would never, I love you, you're so special. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And you know how quick that turns sour once you're not doing it. Do you know what I mean? So life experiences have helped me to realize that, you know what, anyone's capable. So yeah, don't put too much trust in your friends, because that's foolhardy. In fact, I would even go as far as to say that trust is a man-made concept, and it's designed for people to have power over you, to get you to trust them. I mean, why do I need you to trust me if you can just see my movements? If I'm just transparent, the fuck is the trust for? The trust is this element of faith. Like, no, don't trust me. Just take a calculated risk in it. Calculated,
you
know, based on what I know, based on this, based on that, the likelihood. You get me? And prepare to be wrong, even when you make your choice. You get me? That way you don't end up with trust issues, because there's no trust there, and do you know what I mean? And like, sometimes you just need to be aware of that, innit? But okay, so the second part of that title is learn how to use enemies. Like, I don't even know what they're saying, but what do you think about that?
Learn how to use enemies. Well, apparently, like, as I'm saying, in my 30 odd years, I've never had enemies, cuz I'm one of them, you know, I'm cool as fuck. But now, we ain't gonna name his name, we're gonna call him Voldemort. One that's he sprung out of nowhere, so it's like, all right, cool. Like, I see you, and I'm like, I wasn't expecting it. My fellow, you know, people them. We're gonna call Voldemort. He's gonna save a head shape as Voldemort.
He's a fucking hater. Voldemort is a proper hater. Laugh when he thinks he's seen someone's demise. He's a coward. Like,
no.
It's Voldemort. I will name and shame this brother so easily. It's
not worth it.
It's not worth it. I know, but like,
between us, we just keep it between us. But we do something different.
I know. But yeah, man.
And he fucked up the message that was supposed to be spreaded. So I've come along doing my own thing. So like I said, that I've always been cool. If you come to my ends, and you say, yo, okay, Khaled, walk one. I'm like, yeah, that's my G. Because, you know, I've always been balanced, always been cool, never had, but ever since I stepped in that Rome, you know, that weird place, it's like, boom, 1 hater, 2 hater, 3 hater, like, just for me speaking my mind and speaking my perspective. I never thought people actually drive certain people crazy. Like, I've even got certain trolls that literally, every time I'm like, oh, fucking hell, it's the same person. You know, when you do videos, like, you look at it through the comment section, it's like, it's the same Donnie, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, the same sort of thing. So I don't know, bro, Jids. I've never been a one to, because I've never been out there to bully someone. I've never done nothing fuckery to anyone in my life. You get where I'm coming from? So I've never had an enemy. I've disliked people. They've disliked me for my opinions. But now I think I've met one called Voldemort, innit? Yeah, so man's just, you know, this is the best bit for him. This is what I'm learning. This is what I got my, all right, cool. The notepads come out, like, all right, Voldemort head title. We could put his real name in there, so you know what I'm on. And what he doesn't realize with his actions, he's made a sort of, because you're on one of the videos recently. You've come in the video where you held us up. You said, "Wagwan." You've done 2 of my videos on my channel, innit? Where you've held up the mandem, spotted the mandem. Yo, Jeds, you know them ones, and you've walked off. And I'm just there thinking, I'm just a brother was just trying to, you know, spread the message, voice for the voiceless. And it's so now it's like you're that guy, so I have to learn. So we've come up with this is the best chapter for me right now. This is the chapter where I'm gonna start writing. A man's gonna whip your ass, you know them ones with it.
Yeah,
because you know at the same time, Vodamo's a snitch.
Yeah, very much so.
He's a certified snitch, so man can't really even physically do him, man. Man can't even take a hood with the guy, so it's the best thing right now. This is the best book to. All right, let me see this guy now.
Let's see. Big up everyone in the building. Please hit that like button. Quick reminder, we are studying, or we're breaking down or talking about from our perspectives. It's me and Khalid right now. Get me? You lot are welcome to jump in. The link is in the description. This is Readers Are Leaders. It's a series that I started last year on Jedi Online. I thought I'd pick it back up again. No long story, but you know, I read a little bit out of a book, and like we have a little conversation about it, talk about it, and let the conversation go wherever it goes. But yeah, centered around the book. So today is centered around 48 Laws of Power. I'm considering doing all the 48 laws over a couple weeks. Yeah. And then just labeling it like chapters 1 to blah 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 chapters. Do you know what I mean? I'm considering. I'll see how it goes. I'm enjoying it so far. Big up Khalid. He's just vanished. He said Voldemort too many times. He's just vanished. Maybe I hope he comes back. I'll see him there. Yeah, what do you say? I thought Voldemort done a spell, vanished you, bruh. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, definitely hit that like button for me, please, because you know that's very necessary. And what else can I say? Yeah, if you want to support this channel, like leave a little donation in the PayPal or the Cash App. That's #TRILLSUPPORT. The links are in the description. I'll probably drop a link in the chat in a minute, but you can go and find that if you want to support. Find it in your heart to drop man a couple shekels. Man will appreciate that. Right, let's get back to the business.
There's a comment that I found interesting through on the comment section. What is it? M52B25, where he said the US and superpowers own how to use your enemies very well. Yeah. That's just So he said they're the masters at it.
Come on.
Sorry, let me switch off the what's it called?
Oh, it's me. It was me.
Oh, it's you. Oh, yeah. So yeah, that's something powerful. So we saying big superpowers have been using this book and its teachings, and they've been
No. Now, this book is giving us a small glimpse into what they know. Put it that way. Yeah. Get me? This book is giving us a small glimpse into what they know and what they use. He's studying them, not the other way around. You get me? But yeah, remember this book was published in 1998, bro. That's yesterday, man.
That was shit.
Man. Do you know what I mean? It's a new book. And but yeah, definitely use your energy. In that case, if you're talking about the society, if you're talking about the government, I would say the enemy that they use is us
against each other.
They use us to do their work. They use us to get rich. They use us to stay in power. They use us against each other to divide and conquer. They just literally use us, but we're definitely the enemy to them. Because the reason why we're the enemy is that the minute that we wake up, then they're gonna fall. The minute we rise, they're gonna fall. So we are definitely their enemy. So it's for them. It's important for them to keep as many of us in the dark about being their enemy as possible. So we think that they're there for us. We look at them like parents. We look at them like guardians. We see them as our enemy. How many people in society see the government as their direct enemy? Come on, man. Not many, you know. I know you know enough people that's anti-establishment, But ultimately, they don't think the government's their enemy because they keep going every 4 years to vote for them. Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't make sense, fam. They're fucking up the country, and then you keep putting in votes for these guys. But then again, don't you think, Jedi, there's no one else to vote for?
And then don't vote then, isn't it? Oh,
that's what I do. Really, that's why I just whoever, like, to me, I personally think my vote doesn't even count.
Yeah.
Because they know who's going to be in power. It's already scripted. You know what I'm on? You get me? So that's why I've never voted. But I want. This is the chapter I'm waiting for, though. I'm gonna ride this on with you, and then I'm gonna chip out. You get where I'm coming from, G?
All right, cool, family. Yeah, I think that 2 chapters is cool. Maybe I might do the third one. 2-3 chapters is cool. Not too long. Yeah. Let's see if we can finish this within 2 hours. And that'd be a nice, neat little episode.
I don't mind. Doing that. And then carry it on, fam. I'm gonna carry this whole book with you until you finish.
Yeah, all right, cool. Say that. I love that. I love that. All right, cool.
Come on,
okay. Law number 2. Yeah, this is page 5 of the book. Let me take this off. Yeah. Law number 2. Yeah. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Mad. Let's do this. Judgment. So each chapter starts with judgment. Yeah, it's got a section that says judgment. Right. Be wary of friends. They will betray you more quickly, for they are easily aroused to envy. They also become spoiled and tyrannical. But hire a former enemy, and he will be more loyal than a friend, because he has more to prove. In fact, you have more to fear from friends than from enemies. If you have no enemies, find a way to make them. I got to stop there still. I got to stop there straight away. I can't even read more than that, first of all. I'm not going to let that pass. I'm going to read that one more time, yeah? Be wary of friends. They will betray you more quickly, for they are easily aroused to envy. They also become spoiled and tyrannical. But hire a former enemy, and he will be more loyal than a friend, because he has more to prove. In fact, you have more to fear from friends than from enemies. If you have no enemies, find a way to make them. Woo! Goddamn.
That is a powerful statement. Powerful. Bomber soul.
All right, let's break it down sentence by sentence, yeah? Be wary of friends. They will betray you more quickly, for they are easily aroused to envy.
Okay. I want to get into that one. Jeds, and I'm gonna ask everyone on the chat as well.
Yeah.
Which is worse, an enemy or a traitor? Because I think a friend which one in your eyes?
Yeah, definitely a traitor. Definitely a traitor, because the traitor has been let into the inner circle. Obviously, maybe picked up 1-2 pieces of information, personal about you or whatnot. Come on, the enemy, I'll buck you on road, we beef it out. A traitor, you're gonna turn up at my crib.
Yeah.
You feel me?
You're gonna be with my family. You know things about me. Yeah, you're in my inner circle.
You're gonna turn up when I'm picking up my son from school. Like you're gonna type the code into my fucking whatever. You know these things. You got my Wi-Fi code, bruh. Yeah, that's the danger of a friend. A friend or a traitor. I like how you put that still. Yeah. I would rather take out a traitor. I would take out a traitor first, then take out an enemy.
Straight, my GG. Straight.
It's deep. Yeah.
Okay.
The Council of Nice Ears calls it the enemy within. Yeah. It's the enemy on the inside. Because the enemy that enemy past certain defenses. It's dangerous. But yeah, government was created by us. Council of Nice Ears is struggling. He says, use enemies, that's messing with morals hard. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, if that's your enemy, then use them, man. Make them be some benefit to you. Use the enemy, like someone that once was your enemy, like literally, make them be some benefit to you, man. And even when using your enemies, there's a strategy to that as well. You have to read your lines, isn't it? Once you learn from your friend that turned on you, you can't make that same mistake with an enemy. Don't be dumb. But they say in a hierarchy, who's more dangerous to you is obviously going to be the friend that turns bitter, the friend that turns envious, the friend that turns traitor. They also become spoiled and tyrannical. So a friend becomes spoiled, as in they come to expect certain behavior, certain things from you, innit? And they want things in a certain way. And if they don't get their way, they act up. Do you get me? Imhotep is saying, burn this book.
I know, I see, I read that. I was like, rah, mama.
Yeah, it makes people feel emotional still because it's, I don't know, it's reality though. It's like you can't. So far, it's reality in this. You get me?
Bruv, Gigi, I'm not gonna lie to you, Gigi. It's like, it's going through my past, my present, and it's kind of gearing me to the future. I don't know. It's weird. You feel that way? But there's certain elements there's certain elements in this book here was tapped into my past.
Yeah.
It's tapped into relevant things that I'm going through.
Of course.
And it's like it's sort of guiding me somewhere in my future. I don't know. That's how I feel about this book.
Yeah, most good books are like that though, like good reads, because they speak in a language that you can interpret into your life. They make it. He made it relatable, right? He made it relatable. That's all it is. He made it relatable. People are saying, is it even good to admit you have enemies or whatever? Like, I mean, yeah, you got enemies, man. You got enemies of progress. I mean, we could go to the root word enemy and see what that even means. Let me do that. Let's do that. Let's do a side
Come
note. Let's go to enemy. Yeah, be careful of man that will link with your enemies as well, man. Trust me.
I think V Britannia said I could have put it better myself. 52B25 said, what's it called? Enemies are better than fake friends. And that's the fully trust. Okay. See? Everyone's got see, this is related to everyone right now.
Well, they're saying enemies are better than fake friends.
I don't know about that one.
All right, let me share this. Not that you don't know what enemy means, but you know, it's always nice to have a visual thing. You know, it's a bit small. Let's see. Boom. Enemy. A person who is actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. The traditional enemies of his tribe. A hostile nation or its armed forces, especially in times of war. A thing that harms or weakens something else. Routine is the enemy of art. You know. Lies are the enemies of relationships. You know, I don't know. Yeah, something that is against you, something that is opposed to you. I would say that if you don't have an enemy council, if you don't have an enemy, then you're a friend to all, and I think that's more dangerous.
So that's more detrimental to your life.
Yeah, if you not having an enemy, because then you're a fence setter. You are a fence setter. Not to have an enemy means that you don't even have enough substance for someone to dislike you, and there's not much of you. Do you know what I mean? You're just wishy-washy. You don't have no enemies. That means you because we know there's good and bad or whatever. There's righteous causes. If you don't fight for a good cause, and you don't fight against a bad cause, then you might not have no enemies. But does that make you a good person? Does that make you the person you want to be? If you stand up for something you believe in, somebody that doesn't believe in that thing or is opposed to that may become your enemy. It's as literal as you want to take it. An enemy doesn't have to be, oh, we're gonna kill each other, but you know, it's about opposites. I know a lot of you believe in duality, you know, so like even that in a religion, an enemy would be like a shaitan or a devil. You know what I mean? In football, you got enemy. You're Manchester. The team trying to score goals, and your goals your enemy, innit? That's your opposition. You know what I mean? Sometimes when like say we're talking about football, you have to learn, or for let's say boxing or UFC. That's So like in UFC now, you're gonna learn how to use your enemy's fighting technique against him. So if you realize that he's a good puncher, you rely, but not very good on stamina or not very good on the ground. You rely on him trying to be a good puncher. You tease him and prompt him to try and punch you. Meanwhile, you focus on defense, wait for him to get tired. Then you've got him in the position you want him to. That's using your enemy. That's using your enemy in it to get the victory.
On that note, on a side note, always wanted to ask you, Jedi, Deontay Wilder or AJ?
Do you know what? I'm not really a football man. I'm a boxing man like that. But Deontay Wilder or AJ? I'm gonna go with Deontay Wilder.
All right, say that. I'm you know, I met AJ's dad recently. I'm kind of team AJ still.
Team AJ, yeah. Where did you meet AJ's dad?
No, I'm on building site, but it's on my channel, bro. You can see it. I spoke to him, man. I spoke to him, Somali speakers in. I spoke to him, shook his hand, and told him, I like what your son did. Took an L, got back up. Very, you know them ones, Jeds, that just gassed up a little bit, innit? But I don't know, man. I don't know. Them two need to get on. That's what we need to see. So we're gonna leave that in the chat as well.
AJ or Deontay? People saying AJ. I've seen two people say AJ.
I know. I see it. And someone said Billy Ocean. What the hell?
Billy Ocean has C enemies. Enemies. That's actually funny still. C enemies.
Someone, what do you say? Wilder only fight bums. See? I see that.
I got put on the spot. What, you believe that too?
What's that?
That Wilder only fights bums.
Yeah, he does. But basically, I think AJ's a boxer. The guy's a brawler. There's a difference. Yeah, this guy, like I said, Deontay, he's looking for that, that perfect one bang kill. Like, with AJ's more technical. I'm gonna bang you, move, step side. He's got more of a boxing brain. You get where I'm coming from? With Deontay Wilder, these things just reckless. I'm looking to knock you out, like straight. Where sometimes, like, say Jedi, you're boxing someone, you're in a fight. Yeah, sometimes you look like, all right, cool. You see where my man's coming from. You you dodge it. Even the MMA thing. Say if someone's good on their striker, innit, you're gonna take them to the ground. Or say if someone that I don't know, man. I just feel like Deontay ain't got no techers. He got no technique about him. I just feel like I'm a big boxing and MMA fan, innit. I just feel like I don't know, man. I like him as a person, to come up with his daughter. She's got visceral fibrosis or something. I like the backstory of my man, why he got into boxing. But if it's techers, if we're talking about actual boxer, I'll say AJ all day long.
Say nothing, man. Let's hope that AJ works for me, innit? All right, boom. So that was that first bit of the chapter. Let's get into this. It's 2 pages. I'm gonna read 1 page, break it down, and then read the next page. We got 10 minutes, yeah? We gotta wrap this. All right, cool. Keys to power. It is natural to want to employ your friends when you find yourself in times of need. The world is a harsh place, and your friends soften the harshness. Besides, you know them. Why depend on a stranger when you have a friend at hand? The problem is that you often do not know your friends as well as you imagine. Friends often agree on things in order to avoid an argument. They cover up their unpleasant qualities so as not to offend each other. They laugh extra hard at each other's jokes. Since honesty rarely strengthens friendships, you may never know how a friend truly feels. Friends will say that they love your poetry, adore your music, envy your taste in clothes. Maybe they mean it. Often they do not. When you decide to hire a friend, you gradually discover the qualities he or she has kept hidden. Strangely enough, it is your act of kindness that unbalances everything. People want to feel they deserve their good fortune. The receipt of a favor can become oppressive. It means you have been chosen because you are a friend, not necessarily because you are deserving. There is almost a touch of condescension in the act of hiring friends that secretly afflicts them. Let me turn my light on. The problem with using or hiring friends is that it will inevitably limit your power. The friend is rarely the one who is most able to help you. And in the end, skill and competence are far more important than friendly feelings. All working situations require a kind of distance between people. You are trying to work, not make friends. Friendliness, real or false, only obscures that fact. The key to power, then, is the ability to judge who is best able to further your interests in all situations. So that's the bit on friends. What do you think? What do you think?
So this one was a bit tricky for me, bro. I'm not gonna lie. There's a bit where, you know, people using your kindness for weakness, and a friend that expects. Oh, this one's a mad one, Jed. I want to hear you first.
Right.
So I can analyze it.
It's saying, like obviously, all right, on the workplace now. I don't know if you've ever brought a brethren into work.
Yeah.
Right.
I brought a couple of brethren and cousins in.
How did it work? How did it work out?
One of them, I'm not gonna lie to you. Basically, you know, the construction industry. One of the young bucks must have come up to me, like, he's like, "Kay, you just come out of jail these times." He's like, "Kay, I need a way out. I want to go back in." Margie's everywhere, like, you know, the young little 21-year-olds. And I had my cousin at the same time, so I brought them into the construction site. Told them, "Go get your things." The one that's my cousin shitted on me. Because he was more closer, but you see the other one that come out of jail that's hungry, that he's, you know, wanted to just keep his, you know, head down, ride the license. MashaAllah, by the time the license done, boom, boom, man went on holiday, Dubai. He ain't been out of the country for years. Come back, his mom's all like, "Khalid, MashaAllah, man, I pray for you." And I was like, you know what? It shows you, you know, your kindness, because I was bringing my cousin more closer.
Yeah.
Because I thought, you know, that's family first, innit?
Yeah.
So I must have brought him on the site. 2 days later, the guy got a bit, you know, the work got a bit heavy for him. You know, them little spoiled little brats that, like, you know, the Balenciaga, you know, this new generation that's got. How you come to a work site with your Balenciaga and stuff like that? The man weren't ready. You think where I'm coming from, Jids? So, yeah.
I mean, they're saying that when a friend knows that you've hired him just because he's a friend, subconsciously he resents that a bit. Because at some point he knows that it might not be because he's the best person for the job.
Yeah.
Also, I would say that when you hire friends, sometimes they think they can take liberties because of how close they are to you, right? Like they feel like, all right, rah. I'm like, yeah, I'm Jedi. Oh yeah, Khalid's hired me, but me and Khalid go back so long and that. When he hires me, I'm like, yeah, man, I'll be there. Can't wait to see you. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I'm gonna link you there. G, rare. Cool. All good. You're gassed. You done a good thing for your brethren. Jedi turned up half an hour late. First day, half an hour late. Blood, you know, it's mad. Like, yeah, the PMs, man. She was keeping up with rare. And you as a friend, you're like, you know what? Fuck it, man. It's half an hour and that. And people come late all the time, innit? But then tomorrow now, I'm coming in like late again. You're like, Jed, you can't come late. I'm like, nah, cool, brother. I hear that, man. Like, you know, it's all good. Like, rare. Next thing you know, I'm coming late again. And it's like, it's coming to the point where you realize that if me and you wasn't friends, I wouldn't have come late even the first time. Because I would have known that I could have just been sent straight home. Because we're friends, I'm taking that little liberty. Maybe not intentionally, but I am in it. Like, it happens all the time. When I've got meetings with my friends, or my friends have got meetings with us, like we do business in it, yeah. So when it's time, like, let's set up this meeting. Yeah, we're gonna meet at London Bridge at 12 o'clock. Yeah, we're gonna meet.
GG.
I'm gonna get there and my brother's not going to get there. He's going to roll in, and he's going to roll in like 15, 20 minutes late, and then it ain't even going to be a thing. It's just going to be a quick, oh, sorry, man. Yeah, man. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so he's saying it's not going to be a big deal. But if you're meeting somebody for the first time, you turning up late like that and just being so casual about being late, it's going to be a disrespect. That person's going to think you're disrespecting their time, and it's going to make the relationship be sour. So definitely, familiarity breeds contempt. Being like close with someone, being friends with somebody, and then having them in a workplace can mean that they've got a slack attitude.
Yes,
where they think that
they get they get that little G pass off you.
Yeah, of course.
Then,
yeah.
Yes, they get that little G pass, and they think, raw. All right, say no more.
Money's made a next kind of point, which is kind of realistic.
Yeah.
You start a business, first thing family and friends do is ask you for some free shit.
yes, money knows.
That's factual still.
That's 100. That's 100.
And I will ask for free shit too. That's the wickedest thing.
Yeah.
I will ask for free shit though. What? How much you selling it for? Brother, bust me one. Like, and it's mad why we're like that. It's not even meant to be bad. We need to train ourselves out of that. I think that happens a lot in the black community. I don't know. I mean, not to single it out to anyone, but I would say our community, that happens a lot. Get me?
Yeah.
I've seen people from other communities, and I feel like they just throw money at it to support it. Like, yo, you know what? What? You started a business, yeah? Boom. Let me pop off some peas. I'm gonna take the first 100 off you, just to get you started, because you're my friend. My culture now, the culture I'm used to, you're gonna have to make 100 extra, just knowing that you're gonna give them out to friends and family. You know, it's gonna come. So you make 100 free ones.
I know. Even that. Yeah, I see that. I hear that.
It's detrimental to business. That's something that we should all be working on still. And I'm gonna lie, I'll put my hands up and say I definitely did that. There's a side note on this that says King Hero chanced upon a time, speaking with one of his enemies, to be told that he had stinking breath. Whereupon the good king, being somewhat dismayed in himself, as soon as he returned home, chided his wife. How does it happen that you never told me of this problem? The woman, being a simple, chaste, and harmless dame, said, Sir, I had thought all men's breath had smelled so. Thus it is plain that faults that are evident to the senses, gross and corporal, or otherwise notorious to the world, we know by our enemies sooner than by our friends and familiars. And that is by Plutarch, 46 to the 120th century AD. Yeah, so that story was of a man that was out on the roadsides, got told that his breath stinks by an op. Like, right, your breath stinks like shit, Khalid. And man was like, oh, shit. Man went home and said to the missus, like, yo, how come you ain't never told me that my breath stinks? And she basically gave him some excuse like, right, I just thought all men's breath stinks, innit? Like, so that's to show you that them folks that are close to you, they're gonna suffer your fuckery and not tell you. And your op is gonna point out what's really fucked up about you. So listen, this is another way you use your enemies. Listen to their criticisms. Don't have to take it to heart, but often they will give you the most brutalest truth. Like when a man tries to roast you, they let you know what part of you they see as vulnerable or susceptible to being roasted. Listen carefully to that. Those are things that you can deal with. And
so Jeds,
will never tell you. Yeah.
So Jeds, basically, Gigi, you're telling me like listen to the criticism of the enemy more than the people. Them it's more constructive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
saying listen to all of them. Yeah. Some of the detrimental, obviously. These people are enemies.
They're enemies, but I'm saying there's jewels in it, man. There's jewels when man is running jokes on you sometimes. There's jewels, man. You know, there's jewels there.
There's certain digs that you think, all right, that's a bit personal. I get where you're coming from. All right, you're going there.
There's jewels. You know what I mean? You can
instead of switching. So you're saying, Jed, So instead of switching,
you can switch and do whatever. Act normally, you can switch whatever. But when you go home, just know that you may have been given a certain truth about some of your activity or your behavior or a trait or attribute that you're not going to hear from the person you're going to go lay in bed with, or the person that's going to put your food out, or the family member that's going to hug you when you walk in, because they love you, or they're on a different thing. They're not seeing it like that. So you could say, right, how come you never told me my breath stank? Get me? And the truth is, why are they going to tell you your breath stank? Because they're not trying to hurt your feelings. But your breath does stink. You know what I mean? So, like, and I'm not saying you get me, but I'm just saying, innit? Yeah. So, yeah.
No, come on. Come on. I don't take them things literally. Come on.
That analogy works, though. You get me? Definitely works.
I like to big up Black Van Man in the chat. Big up Black Van Man.
Come on, man. Come
on.
That's why people say bring enemies close. Keep your friends close, your enemies closer. Mad.
It's mad. That saying just literally, whoever said that just lined it up with the other thing we were just talking about, the breath thing. Wow. You saying, Jeds, man?
Yeah.
We're reading chapter 3. Are we gonna get into it?
Wait, finish. There's one more page of this. I just broke it into 2. What we got? Yeah. I'm gonna finish this. We're gonna chat about them quickly. Your enemies. So that was the bit about friends, yeah. Your enemies, on the other hand, are an untapped gold mine that you must learn to exploit. When Talleyrand, Napoleon's foreign minister, decided in 1807 that his boss was leading France to ruin and the time had come to turn against him, he understood the dangers of conspiring against the emperor. He needed a partner, a confederate. What friend could he trust in such a project? He chose Fauché, head of the secret police, his most hated enemy, a man who had even tried to have him assassinated. He knew that their former hatred would create an opportunity for an emotional reconciliation. He knew that Fauché would expect nothing from him and in fact would work to prove that he was worthy of Talleyrand's choice. A person who has something to prove will move mountains for you. Finally, he knew that his friendship with Fauché would be based on mutual self-interest and will not be contaminated by personal feeling. The selection proved perfect. Although the conspirators did not succeed in toppling Napoleon, the union of such powerful but unlikely partners granted much interest in the cause. Opposition to the emperor slowly began to spread, and from then on, Talleyrand and Fauché had a fruitful working relationship. Whenever you can, bury the hatchet with an enemy and make a point of putting him in your service. Never let the presence of enemies upset or distress you. You are far better off with a declared opponent or two than not knowing where your real enemies lie. The man of power welcomes conflict, using enemies to enhance his reputation as a sure-footed fighter who can be relied upon in times of uncertainty. Power.
That's the bit I just wanted to elaborate on. A man of power. That last bit kind of spoke volumes for me.
Use your enemies, squash the beef, employ them. I've seen that, Like I say this all the time to people, yeah. Like there's people that I've fallen out with for dumb reasons or whatever. Who enemies are a strong word, but when I look at who I'd want on my team, a lot of the time it's people that are my enemies because they're how hard they go, their dedication, their on pointness, like their intelligence. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the people you end up not aligning with are actually full of traits that you'd like to see in even some of your closest team members. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes, like imagine in school, when it was my class versus other classes, I was always in the weakest class. So the guys that I was always backing, the guys that was always backing me, were like the weakest ones out of the year. The man them were in different classes. The man them that would rep, the man them that we could link up with and go brack up another school were in different classes with me. So when it was on for the school, I'd go and recruit them, man. Yeah, man, in my
Yeah.
classes, yeah, alright, cool, yeah, but you lot are just bookworms on that. Because I was in a top tier class, bookworms, innit? But I would go and recruit the thugs and that from the lower classes, or the classes that, you know, had a different set of youths in there, and we're the ones that would go and ride out, doing a madness and going to other schools and blah blah blah. So that makes perfect sense to me. Perfect sense to me. You know what I mean? They weren't necessarily my enemies, but you know, they were from outside of my actual day-to-day circle.
Yeah.
And
you find out more strengthful and enduring.
Yeah, more strength, because you see all their good characteristics, and I know what man's like. I know man's a rider. You get me? I know man's tough. Imagine the jaws of ingratitude, knowing what would happen if you put a finger in the mouth of a lion. You would stay clear of it. With friends, you will have no such caution, and if you hire them, they will eat you alive with ingratitude. Authority. Know how to use enemies for your own profit. You must learn to grab a sword, not by its blade, which would cut you, but by the handle, which allows you to defend yourself. The wise man profits more from his enemies than a fool from his friends. Jeez! The wise man profits more from his enemies than a fool from his friends. That's dope.
Love, fam. That's a Facebook status thing. That's a status, man.
It's
hard. I need to post it up. Man, I need to post it up somewhere, like, forever. Even when I'm gone, that post is there.
Trust me. Hit the like button, family. You lot get these likes for me, man. Please.
Come on, share, like, and subscribe, my people, man. Trilluminati all day long, man. Come on, what's wrong with you, man? Hit that button, my people.
48 Laws of Power, chapters 1 and 2. It's taken 2 hours, and I'm gonna make it short, sweet. The recapping: never outshine your master. Imagine the stars in the sky. There can only be one sun at a time. Never obscure the sunlight or rival the sun's brilliance, but rather fade into the sky and find ways to heighten the master star's intensity. Yeah. Avoid outshining the master. All superiority is odious, but the superiority of the subject over his prince is not only stupid, it is fatal. This is a lesson that the stars in the sky teach us. They must be related to the sun and just as brilliant, but they never appear in her company. Right? And then chapter 2 was never put too much trust in friends, learn how to use enemies. And it says the jaws of ingratitude, knowing what would happen if you put a finger in the mouth of a lion, you would stay clear of it. With friends, you will have no such caution, and if you hire them, they will eat you alive with ingratitude. Know how to use your enemies for your own profit. You must learn to grab a sword, not by its blade, which would cut you, but by the handle, which allows you to defend yourself. The wise man profits more from his enemies than a fool from his friends. Yeah. And that's it really, innit?
There's a comment that I want to read out that Black Van Man said. It's the latest comment that Black Van Man said. You know, always keep it to the speakers, people. This book trains you to have no heart and no moral compass. What do you think of that?
Maybe. I don't know about no more, but maybe so. I've heard that a lot.
That's debatable.
I've heard a lot of people say that, man.
About this book?
Yeah, about this book. Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck, you know, I find it informational. I find it brilliant, bro. Like I'm saying, like I said earlier, it kind of taps into my past, taps into some of the issues that I'm going through in my present, and hopefully, inshallah, is preparing me for something in the future. Because when you grow and you actually establish yourself and you make something, you're gonna have enemies, regardless. Just speaking, I like Jada. Just going out there and speaking our minds, you get enemies. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
I don't think anything else.
You have no moral compass. I think this book, for me personally, I think I think it is it's not for everybody, but my aim in life is detachment. So I try to detach from all notions, all concepts, to become a blank page. therefore I can truly fulfill my own destiny. And I think things like morals and all that shit is like, and the concept of heart, they're all just social constructs, right? Right and wrong is a social construct. What's right for you might not be right for me, Khaled. What's right for BV might not be right for me. If we live our lives pretending to adhere to some form of, look, this whole pretending to adhere to a moral compass or to some moral guidelines is also somebody using 48 laws of power on you. Because while they're all pretending to adhere to that shit, man is all doing some cutthroat shit out here.
Straight
out for themselves.
Straight.
So we learned that in the beginning of the book, like, Raj, you know what? Everyone's gonna pretend like they're on some decency shit. Everyone's gonna pretend like they're not on that. Everyone's gonna pretend like they're honest and they're not deceitful. And then I'm gonna be that big dummy that's gonna think that that's the way the world really works. And then you lot are gonna keep shit on me. You understand?
Yeah, fully.
And that for me is where it speaks volumes to me. I see that good guys get shitted on. This is a tool for a good-natured person to become wizened in the ways of the world. This doesn't mean that you use this on your mum or your dad or your girlfriend, or like, do you know what I mean? This is something for the workplace, for the outer world. Yeah. Some of the examples are used as friends and whatnot, but really we can change the word friends with associates. And we got enough of them, enough frenemies in disguise. So it's better.
Yeah, come on.
It's better. Like this book actually shows you how people operate. And power, if you want to be honest, power in this world is ugly. It's ugly. And there's not no pretty way to fucking grasp that shit. Yeah? We can all stay powerless, innit? Or we can learn techniques to gain power and therefore be able to serve our interest better. So if your interest is the community, or your interest is your people, or your interest is your family, or your interest is yourself, yeah, the best way for you to gain leverage in this world is to be observant of the games and the way other people operate. That's all it is. You know what I mean? And like Black Van Man saying, it can also show you how other people are using power, or how other people are gaining power, so then it could protect you from, possibly falling victim to certain techniques. So either way, I wouldn't shy away from the book. I don't think there's such thing as a bad book, but yeah, you don't have to apply everything to your life. But there's definitely philosophical morsels in here that are good food for thought. You get me?
Come on.
I mean, and on that note, 2 hours and 14 minutes into it, this has been Readers Are Leaders. My name is Jedi, aka Red Pill Trill. This is Trilluminati Live. Been here with Khalid, K Congo, Somali
speakers.
Come on.
Come on, add the channel, share, like, and subscribe, my people.
The channel, man. Add up the channel, Somali speakers. I'm definitely gonna go over there now and go and check it out. And
there's 2 videos that you're in.
Yeah.
You get me? Yeah, so like I was saying, my brothers, when we're gonna continue this, man, the next couple of chapters, when do you want to finish off this?
This is gonna be every Wednesday. So next
Wednesday.
Next Wednesday we're gonna be back to do a couple more chapters. And
so what time? Because I'm a precise guy, my man will be working, but I want to bang out another 2 hours, man. I want to do another review list. Like I said, I want to finish this whole book with you, man.
Yeah.
On the review thing. Yeah.
We'll work it out. We'll speak before then. We'll work it out what time, maybe on the and then I'll schedule in the chat. But what time did I start at this time? Because I can't guarantee I'll be in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I say this is more powerful for the evening. Because I might be because it's my day off today. I don't know what my schedule is next week.
Yeah.
But you're gonna be at inshallah.
When you're in from
you're gonna be at the park. Usually 7. In the evenings on a Wednesday. I don't mind.
We see how it goes.
Park? Maybe not.
I could say yeah, and then I don't turn up. I could say no, and then I'm there. You know how I'm like.
No. Yeah, Jeddah is one of them. Like, just turn up out of nowhere, like, oh, you ready? And then
and then I'm.
But this is a powerful book. Yeah, man. But if we try to keep it on a Wednesday, I'm definitely gonna. As soon as I hear this, I'm tuning in. G. I'm subscribed anyway.
It will be on a Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow we got Conspiracy Corner as well. Go over like a couple conspiracy, try to separate the conspiracy facts from the conspiracy fiction. Last week's one was epic. We just started talking about free will and all of that. If you get free time, check that out because that video was intense.
That's powerful.
It was fucking hard.
I think this is more sort of my type of segment. What you're doing, Jen. You know, everyone's got a cup of tea in it.
Yeah.
Right now, I could be listening to some bullshit. People, this person said that, but I'd rather listen to something that, because I always say I'm a student of life, and life never stops teaching. That's my old saying. Somali speakers, K, trademark that. You know what I mean? So, like I say, life never stops teaching, and it was a pleasure. It was an honor of mine, Jedi, to host this with you, my brother.
Big up, brother, and I really appreciate you coming through, sticking with me through the whole thing, and your input was priceless. You get me? So big up to you, sir. And man, we're gonna link up. Maybe we link up, chat some fuckeries later, do some he say, she say, eating some pasta. You get me? Well, we know that
if it's on your channel, I don't mind going. I don't mind reviewing the pasta. I might just listen to it. You know what I mean? You know, in my language, we say kawalis.
Kawalis, yeah.
Shimber shooter. Yeah, he's gonna start laughing when he hears that. That's another Somali brother, anyway.
Big up you, man. Let me lock this show off and then see where we at, man. I don't know. I could live stream, but I just want to make this segment be this segment, innit? So I'll probably come back on in a bit. Big up to everyone that came through. Please hit that like button. It's very, very important. If you can drop a donation in a PayPal, that shit's appreciated. If not, share this video with someone, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, you came too late, but look, it's just 2 hours long. You can listen back to it, Zia. Big up yourself and peace. Peace, man. We're gone.